Hi, 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 hi. Hello. How are we today? Are we good? Yeah, today is a good day. It's a lovely day and we are having a great time. So I just want to say welcome. Thank you for allowing me to come into your home today with you on this channel, and we appreciate you being here with us. Today, we want to talk about preventative measures for breast cancer. We have two topics, breast cancer and domestic abuse, because those are the things that are my specialty, my experiences, and the things that I have done. But we want to particularly talk about breast cancer today. And we'll come with part two, where we'll speak about domestic abuse in a few days' time on Thursday. So we're bringing that to you. Once again, my name is Verna Hayward, and welcome to the Unstoppable Life with Verna Hayward show. The whole purpose of me bringing this to you is to enlighten you and to give you the necessary information that you need to take the measures that will save your life and save somebody else's life. We tend to not want to go for checkups. One, either because we are scared, we don't want to hear bad news, or two, we don't want to be we just don't want to know. We don't want to do anything about it. Some people are like that. I know I've had people say to me, I don't want to know this happened in the family, but I don't want to know. And sometimes when you do get news, you're thinking, why didn't I do something earlier? So my colleague and I, which is Carolina, you are going to meet her shortly. We are going to talk about it from two different perspectives. From the part that I have done to really look after myself and wanting to bring that to others, because I know there are lots of women out there, some of them that I'm aware of, that I have been told of, who does not seem to want to change their lifestyle or diet, and maybe they just don't care, or maybe they just don't know. There is a number of reasons why that is happening. But I just want to say, I am very appreciative of you guys, and I want you to know how important it is. So we're going to talk about preventative. And one of the things that I do is all about bringing a resilience, is building resilience. All of that help you to build resilience and how to cope, and what coping mechanism you need, and what the things you're going to be doing. So we're going to be talking about regular screening. We're going to talk about self-examination, genetic testing, and medication. We're going to talk about these things that would probably, not probably, we know it will help you and will help to save lives. I do have a program called Unstoppable Resilience, 3 Powerful Practices to Take Your Power Back. And it would be good to have a conversation and lots of different things that we can talk about on how I can help and how I can help you to develop a different mindset and how to transform your life. So before we go any further, I want to bring Carolina into the conversation so that she can introduce herself, and then we can go from there. So as I said, this is Carolina, and I wouldn't go too much in. She will just tell you a little bit more about her, and then we dive straight into the topic today.
Thank you, Verna. Thank you for the
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on this very special topic. I met this good friend now who has become a dear friend, and this topic for me is one of the ones that really touch like one of the very, very sensitive nerves, because I've had very close people to me that have passed away from cancer. So when she asked me, can you share your experiences and a little bit talk about it, I was a bit daunting it, but I knew how important this subject is, because I was one of those victims that just thought it's never going to happen to us. It's never going to happen to me or to my family or to this close circle. And it has, and it's been devastating. So I'm very grateful to come on and just share a little bit. My name is Carolina Ceballos. I am a life and business coach. I've been working with families to help with workshops to help with the balance of the household to help better regulate emotions, to better equip parents, to be able to teach, help heal and restore families. At single parent households in particular, we specialize with single parent households, because I myself was a single parent and I went through a complete transformation journey, from when I found out I was a single parent to now when my child is at a different stage in her life. And it was my journey that has helped not only my life completely change and better, but a lot of other people around me. And now, thankfully, I'm working with families that are seeing the changes in their children and in themselves to better prepare the household. Our program is with a mission to reclaim, redesign, and reinvent our lives, which is a program that we are putting across in different boroughs and schools. And hopefully, we'll be able to catch up soon. Obviously, if it's something that interests you, please do follow our pages and support what we are doing. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. It's always good to be, I think it's a really good thing to be going in schools and talking about these subjects, because the younger generation, the more we can spread the word, the more awareness we can bring, is the better informed we will be, and we can save lives. It's all about saving lives.
Thank you.
So, as I said, welcome everyone, for those of you who are here with us here on Facebook and Instagram, on YouTube. So, we welcome your presence. If you have any comments at all, please don't hesitate to write them in the comments, to give us your comments. We can discuss them. Um, We'll probably wait and discuss them later on, or we can stop in the middle and we can discuss them. But we want you to give your feedback, because it's only by doing so you can be more informed, and we too can find out what you are thinking and what you are learning from this, so that we can bring more topics to you that will benefit your life. This is my whole thing, is about bringing awareness. My whole life now is based on motivating and inspiring. So this topic is a very serious one. It's in the news constantly. We saw that, Princess Kate have cancer and was diagnosed with cancer, and King Charles was diagnosed with cancer. I'm not naming them because they are high profile, because the thing is, cancer knows no bounds. It knows no bounds. It doesn't care who you are, doesn't care what status you are. So I want people to be aware of that. I want people to take that into account, that it doesn't matter how big or tall or small or rich or poor or whatever, it will attack you in any form. And it can be very aggressive if not discovered at the right time. So today, as I said, we really want to get into that, and we want to, is a subject that touched many lives, as I've just said. You know, Even there is another news announcer that I listened to. She had breast cancer, and I wasn't seeing her for a while, and I'm thinking, oh, what's going on? Have she changed? Is she going to another organization and work? Until later, when I found out that no, she's been receiving chemotherapy treatments. So you can see, it doesn't matter what walks out, and she didn't think that was something that she would get either, going about her merry life. I then found out, whoa, I have breast cancer, diagnosed with breast cancer. So it's something that touches your lives, and it makes a huge difference in how you see yourself. I'm telling you, it affects your mind, okay? It affects your mindset, your mental health. Sometimes you're wondering, what it is going to happen, how are things going to work. Even though I am a positive person, yes, you can feel depressed, you can feel um, uh, um, overwhelmed, you can feel like you're confident, you're lacking in confidence. And this is what I had to do, to come here and do this 30-day challenge to raise my confidence. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, it's been bright, it's been right all the time, because no, it hasn't been. I was down in the dumps. There were times when I was down, and I have to pull myself up by the bootstraps. Okay. And the bootstrap is speaking positively to myself, meditation, reading, and doing all the necessary things that I need to do. So, as Carolina said, she had family members who passed away from that. So I want to bring in Carolina so we can talk about it, because we're talking about regular screening. I will go into that a little bit more, but I want her to talk about her experiences, just to bring awareness and to let you know what are the possibilities when we don't do anything. Carolina?
Hi, yeah, thank you. I think just, I mean, with the two different members who were very close to me, to my life, they didn't get seen. They just did not like to go for regular checkups. Um, when I was, I think we constantly sent letters for screening, and even I myself, I can hold my hand up and say I have ignored them once or twice. And the older we get, the more risks there are. So I myself, even last year when I got the letter, I was about to put it, oh, I'm too busy this year. And I thought, no, like, at the end of the day, now knowing what I know with my family members, I know better. So I straight away, I just made the appointment and I went ahead and got seen. With these family members, they ignored a lot of the signs for a long time. Just not going to the doctors, to be honest. And once they got the diagnosis, obviously once it was just too far advanced, and it was too late for them, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, so that's it. We can't do anything without information. When we have the information, we can do something about it. And as I say, no news is good news. So if we get no news at all, oh, we are in limbo. We don't know what is happening. But when we get the news, we can act on it. We can take action. Okay? So going and having a checkup, yes, I'm telling you, it's uncomfortable, but only uncomfortable for a short moment, not for too long. Maybe what, 10 minutes or maybe less. All right. So I'm encouraging you to listen to what we have to say. If you know anybody at all who haven't gone for a breast cancer check or a cervical test check, or you know do it. Neither of those things are comfortable for us as women. None of it is comfortable, but it is essential. It is a critical thing that we need to take steps to create awareness and to look at our life. Our life is a treasure. Our life is a treasure. Is important. It's a gift. And you wouldn't, if somebody give you a gift, what would you do with it? Would you throw it away, Carolina? What would
Mm,
you do with your gift?
no, definitely. The moment that you receive gifts, what happens? You get a boost of happiness, and you treasure it, you look after it, you wear it, whatever the gift is, you really
Yeah,
look after it. And life is such a gift. We sometimes don't realize.
it is. It is such a gift. And sometimes we take it for granted. So I don't want you to take for granted. So if you're listening to us today and you haven't had your tests, I will say visit your GP and make arrangements. Okay. Sometimes it is a little bit difficult, but something we have to do. So get regular screening. If you haven't had a regular screening, get regular screening. Above all else, make sure you do that and do it early. I know they send us out letters and stuff, but if for any reason you examine yourself and you find, oh, this little feel a little bit strange, don't just sit there and think, oh, it's just like me. I just sat there and think, oh, I'm getting big boobs and getting voluptuous. Yeah, aesthetically, I'm thinking, but there is something danger. Danger is at my door, and I refuse to take time. And as Carolina said, you're busy working and you're doing all of that, and you have no time. But self-care is important, and this will be talking about self-care, and that's what come into that. So for women, typically it means a mammogram. Okay, it means you having a mammogram. And I think it starts from age 40 when you start getting the letters to go. And I think they're thinking about bringing it in earlier now, because sometimes I think the food we eat, all of those things have an effect on our body, and it changes, our body chemistry changes. So we need to take the necessary precautions. Could be family history. In a family, there's a history of cancers in the family. So we need to know our family history. I know sometimes it says, oh, you don't want to go back there and find out anything. Oh, yeah, because your history determines your future. Although your future is dependent on you, but your history tells you something, and it tells you what you need to do, what steps you need to take to avoid these disasters that will happen. Speak to a healthcare provider, speak to somebody, anybody you know in the healthcare, speak to somebody, because then they will help you. They will give you the necessary information you need. So, Caroline, I know you said that when you first went and had the screening, did you think, well, oh, the mammogram is awful, I don't want to have it again? Or did you think, uh,
Well, to
okay,
be
no
fair, like I
problem?
said, I think the first time I did it a couple of years ago, I think they start sending you letters from when you're about 30. So once I hit my 30s,
Okay.
yeah, I was like, I'm too young for this. It's not going to happen to me. So I think I ignored probably the first one. I can't remember which one of the ones that I did ignore, because I just said, I don't have time. I don't want to be touched and moved around in areas that are private to me. But once I got there, I also knew that it was to prevent a bigger headache. You know what I mean? It was, if I got this over and done with, I will be at peace, because otherwise it's always going to be in the back of my mind. What if you didn't get it early? What if it's this? What if it's that? And all those doubts really spiral in your head. Once I went to the hospital, for me personally, at least the first time I did it, it was a bit like an X-ray, being put against a machine, and for me it was quite quick. I just got it over and done with. What I was dreading was in my head bigger than it was when I got there.
Yeah, it's true. Your head tells you something else until you get there and you do it. I felt like a piece of meat just plop plop. You know what I mean? And clamp.
It was more. It was your one. I think it was a lot more painful than
Like, oh my God, lift, turn, do, yeah, go like this, raise your arm. Yeah, it is a little bit of fiasco, but it is essential.
mine.
So, did you ever think about doing self-examination? Did you ever think about doing that? Because I knew I touched my breast when I saw it was, becoming, like that. And I did feel around, but I didn't feel anything. It was just expanding, but I didn't feel anything. I didn't think, well, I needed to go for any checkup. So did you do any self-examination at all?
I think there is a lot of us that really worry. And I've been to the GP several times now with, oh my God, I found a lump. When you're showering, you really need to properly shower, and then you kind of feel something. And I think I've had two small lumps in these last couple of years, and I've kind of raced to the GP at one point. I mean, like, look, this is not normal. What's happening? But they've said the ones I've had at least have just been to do with the menstrual cycle, and they passed. So within about a month for me, they've settled and gone. So that was one of the reasons I got sent for a further checkup the first time I found a bigger lump than normal. So even if you find, smaller lumps, any lumps in your breast that shouldn't be there, should really be checked over, obviously, by professionals, and referred if it's anything more than it needs to be. Thankfully, on the two that I've had, it hasn't been malignant, and they have worn off. One took about a month, the other one took about 3-4 months. So it was to do with the menstrual cycle for me, but like I said, definitely made me so much more aware.
Yeah. So is that awareness, is creating that awareness. It's like I said, mine was swelling and I didn't think it was swelling, but I just think it was growing.
Oh,
I'm getting bigger boobs. Yes, I'm getting bigger boobs, but not in the right way. You understand? So you can think aesthetically, how does that look? But you really want to really pay attention and just double check. Just check. And if you think, well, oh, I'm not so sure about this, maybe get checked. It doesn't hurt to make an appointment and get checked. So self-examination is very, very important. So number one, screening. Number two, self-examination. The next thing we want to say talk about is lifestyle, because I mentioned it before. And I was speaking to someone yesterday, and we were discussing, what I'm talking about on these live programs. And she was expressing to me, I know a couple women who need to hear this, and who, because they just think that they can just carry on eating how they normally would. Yes, you can, if you don't value your life, and if you don't see your life as a gift, and you don't see that your life is precious. So if you don't see your life as precious, then who cares? But if you see your life as something being precious, and hey, I still want, I want to live to be 120. I don't know about you, but I want to be 120, and I want to be still looking fit and young, like some of these women and men who lives in the green zones. You see some of them, they're 100 and something, and you wouldn't know that because of the way they are looking, because why? They are doing the necessary thing. They're exercising, cutting wood, weeding the grass, doing all of those things. They don't go to gym, but they're doing these physical exercise outdoors that will help them, and they are eating the right types of food. So food, your diet is essential. Your diet is key to you um, getting the necessary vitamins into your body. Because for me, if I wasn't getting the necessary vitamins, I won't be given chemotherapy. I won't be given radiotherapy, because my body do not have what it needs to really upkeep me so that I can have the treatment. As I mentioned in one of my previous talks, that I had to have um, transfusion, just blood transfusion. And I had to go to get my heart checked, because the intensity of the treatment, because depending on what stage you are, you don't really want to go through that. And I want to prevent you from having to go through that. I want you to do something about it now. That's why I am raising the awareness. Some people say, well, they didn't treat me right at the hospital, or I didn't get the right thing. Yes, we're going to talk about that at another stage. Sometimes these things happen, but all sometimes as well, I sit in the clinic, and I look on the board, and I can see how many people missed their appointments. They didn't turn up for their appointments. Maybe there could be a number of reasons why they didn't turn up. Maybe they just didn't want to know. Maybe they didn't get the letter. Maybe the letter went to the wrong area. There's lots of maybes. Maybe the child was sick if they have children. So there are lots of maybes. But what you do, you get on the phone and you call and you say, I'm really sorry. I won't be able to make the appointment because there is somebody else waiting. Somebody else waiting. So we need to really think about what we put in our body and how we maintain our health. When you went for screening, did anybody talk to you about what you eat? I know you were not diagnosed with it, but anybody talk to you about what you eat, what you put in your body, and how you look after yourself? Did you get anything like that?
Not in my two screenings for myself, but I have been with a family member or and two other people that I accompanied for the cancer. For one for chemo, some for just the appointments because I do some translations. And yes, there was definitely told their lifestyle will completely change.
Yeah.
We had to add a lot more fruit, a lot more vitamins, eat a lot more fish, I think it was.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of we were told no more smoking, go out for walks, do more, be more active as well. So there is a lot of things that we are advised to do, things to prevent cancer. Those things I've just actually mentioned are preventative of cancer,
Right.
but obviously
Exactly.
once you have cancer you have to be a lot more careful and a lot more
Yeah.
focused with your health
Yeah.
and diet.
Yeah. Yeah, once you get diagnosed, you have to. I'm not a. I'm not an. I don't drink lots of alcohol, but I love. Um, there's particular wines that I love. But now I don't drink them because I know the effects it would have on my body. I may have a glass of red wine because they say red wine is good. So I may have a small glass, but once in a blue moon. So alcohol consumption, you need to cut down. Smoking, you need to cut down. Some people might say they can't stop smoking, but you need to start having a healthy, balanced diet because that is going to help with your weight as well, because you don't want to put on too much weight. You want to eat sensibly, and you want to have a normal weight because you don't want to give the cancer anything to eat off. So sugar and all of that, you need to cut down on sugar. If you eat sugar, you want to cut down on your sugars. Okay. Any artificial thing, you want to cut down on that. So you want to be able to eat a lot of whole grains, and you want to be using your vegetables and your fruits like your berries and all those things. So you really want to take those things in and really make sure you're getting that. The other thing you want to be doing as well, in terms of we're talking about preventative, is getting genetic testing. So genetic testing is basically from your family history. So if you have a family history, you want to go and you want to get a genetic test from your doctor just to make sure that you're not carrying the genes. I mean, we all, as I said, we all have cancer cells, but we just need to make sure in our family history that we don't. I didn't know that, one of my aunts passed away from cancer. I didn't know. I found out later that that's what she had, and that's what she suffered from, and she passed away, and she did nothing about it. Maybe her life could have been spared, but she didn't go to the doctor. She didn't do anything. So she's no longer with us. You understand? So that's why we are spreading the news and we are saying, get your test, get your genetic test. So if I had known that about her, maybe I would have taken my own a little bit more seriously. But at the same time, I have responsibility. I can't put that on her, okay? Cannot blame her because you
That's true.
didn't get a test. I didn't
Yeah,
know. No,
yeah.
no, no, no. I cannot put that on her. That's
I had
my
the same.
responsibility.
Yeah,
She has a responsibility for her own life, and I have a responsibility.
that's true.
But don't you think, Carolina, we live in a world of blame, a blame culture?
Hmm.
How does
Yeah.
that? Have you come across that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was an awareness was raised probably about 15 years ago, possibly, because one of my aunties had been diagnosed back home in Ecuador. And I think that was the first time I kind of heard cancer in the family circle. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I was like, that's huge. Obviously, if it's now in my family, um, anybody could have those genes. I had read somewhere that we inherit mutations of certain genes that could develop
I
cancer.
was going to bring that up.
Again, through the different types of healing that I've been doing, including timeline therapy, that um, I was told that it goes back to your ancestors and some certain traumas, and obviously the diet and the different things that they went through in their life that can be inherited on to the children, and it goes down the generations. So you could imagine when my auntie was diagnosed. Um, at that time, 15 years ago, I had no idea, to be fair, about anything genetic, about anything going down in the family, that it could even, happen in our circle. But that's the first time I got made aware. At the time, I don't think I blamed anybody else, but I was like a bit um, like, what did grandma do? What did granddad do? Like, how did we get it into the family? So yeah, I think I was probably pushing the blame back up to be like, I hope that we don't get it. But like I said, it's so important to be aware of it,
Yeah,
especially if there is anybody in your circle, to get those checks done and those tests
yeah.
done.
Yeah, genetic. When you get a genetic testing, it will tell you whether it is generational, whether it is in any family, in your genes. Okay, so there are lots of different factors, and that's why you take all those necessary precautions. You do all those things that is needed.
Mm.
And the other preventative is medication. So you have medication and surgery. Now, you don't want to get to where I got to. So I had to have medication, which I'm on medication now, and I had to have surgery. So I had to have surgery, I had to have the medication, I had to have the chemotherapy, the radiotherapy, the Herceptin. I had to have it all because, as I said in one of my previous videos, I was grade 3. So it was fast growing, really fast. It was growing very quickly. So had I done nothing about it, I wouldn't be here speaking to you right now. Probably, maybe, probably, but I have no guarantee about that. But what I can talk about now is that because I took the necessary precautions, I did the things that I was advised to, and on top of that, added my diet, look at my diet, and I went even further and I researched and not just eat whatever it was, but also going back and looking at science. What does science say about our food? And when I think about it, I think my grandmother and my great great grandmother and all those people, they were doctors in their own rights. Because when you think about what they were giving us to eat, and now when I look now and I think, oh, science have talked about this. Science says, oh, this have cancer fighting um, gels, cells in it, so they need to eat that. We need to drink bush tea, and I hated every time we had to drink bush tea. Only on a Sunday we get to drink chocolate, and I was like, oh, bush tea again. So you were eating sage, you were drinking sour soup, you were doing this, you were doing that, and all of those things have cancer fighting cells. So you guys in the Caribbean, you need to know what you need to be eating, okay? You need to be changing your diet and looking at it seriously. Those of us here in the UK and other countries where we can get those natural things that we can go on the tree and pick, we need to purchase it. If we know anybody in the country that can bring it to us, then yes. So start drinking your green tea and your salsa tea and your all those different types of teas would really help you. So if you want to know more about what I have done or what I'm continuing to do, I am happy to share that with you. I am going to be doing a workshop, so I'm going to tell you when I'm doing the workshop, and you can sign up to the workshop, and then we can have a workshop on that, on different aspects as well. So as we come to a close, I know we always want to finish this early, but we have so much information to give you. As we come to a close, I want to say, we're talking about breast cancer and domestic violence, but today we're focusing on breast cancer. I just want you to take those preventative measures. Take those preventative measures to stop, to avoid you getting to the stage where you have to go through the treatments, because it is not easy. It's not a nice thing. It is traumatic. Traumatic. Okay, so there's trauma that comes with it, and you have to know how to deal with it. And that's why the NHS, they have you have a nurse that some people don't want it, but I took it because they can talk to you. They can ask you, can tell them anything. When you see something changing, you can speak at anything. If you going through that and you want to massage, because not every therapist know how to do massages, or as a matter of fact, some therapists will stay away from it because they think they're going to hurt you. They think you're going to whatever. Okay. So if you want a massage, then I am able to do that for you, because I massage myself and I am a qualified therapist in massage and reflexology, aromatherapy, whatever it is, I am it. So I work from the inside. So if you're looking for somebody to really who understand and could give you that nurturing that you need, I am here to give you that nurturing, because I massage my breasts every single day. And if I notice something strange, I call my nurse and I said, I noticed this. And then they will ask me certain question. So still, you have to take your preventative measure. So do those steps. Be proactive. Be proactive. Don't wait for somebody else. Be proactive and take the necessary steps that you need. So I hope you found this information worthwhile. And if you know anyone that needs to hear this video, I will say, please, please, please pass it on to them. So like, share, follow us, and comment and give us your feedback, and let us know what else you think that we have missed, or if you know of something else that I didn't cover, then let us know, because we are here to help. The whole purpose of why we go through these experiences is so that we can share those experiences. I have lots of other resources for you as well, in terms of who you can contact, because I know I have friends in the Caribbean and in the States who are listening. So I will put those information up on my website, where you would find the necessary resources, who to call, which organization to call, who can help, whether it is breast cancer or abuse. But today we're talking about breast cancer. On Thursday, we will talk about abuse, what preventative actions you can take. So these are the preventative actions we talk about today. So I'm just going to do a recap. So the preventative actions that you can take is regular screening, number one. Number two, you get self-examination. Three, your healthy lifestyle. So you try and create choices that you can eat. There's some things you may not like, but there's always something you can change with. Genetic testing. Get your genetic testing and take the medication that they give you. Okay? Take the medication on top of everything else. So I want to thank you for listening to us today. Carolina, is there anything you want to say before I close?
Yeah, first of all, thank you. Thank you so much for making us aware and for sharing your own testimony in this subject. It's such a delicate subject to share. So, I, for one, especially being a part of sort of losing somebody from this horrible disease, I'm very grateful that people like yourself and myself are now that I'm making people aware of this. But a message came through to me from a dear friend of mine who has shared two organic ingredients that are really good for cancer. And she has just shared her testimony from her granddad. Listen to this. So she said that her granddad was on stage 4 cancer, given 6 months to live, and he came across these tea leaves. And after doing some research, she went out, got them organic. The tea leaves are called sourop leaves and
So
guanavanin.
what's up? Is this
Soursop.
soursop?
Okay, sorry, yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
soursop. Yeah,
Soursop leaves
yeah,
and guanavanin
yeah.
leaves. And he
Yes.
now even to this day drinks it 3 times a week and eats healthily organic food. And he is alive and well. And
Mhm.
he was cleared. Stage 4, guys. So that's absolutely amazing. And thank you so
Yeah.
much for the person for sharing that testimony, because I'm going to obviously make more people aware of this. Do look at your foods, do look at your diet, do have regular checkups. Look after your elders as well, because for me, I'm completely and utterly heartbroken, because especially with the one person I lost that was one of the closest people to me. I miss her every single day, and I still wish she was here with me. She had the most energetic and fun vibes that gave me one of my boosts and one of the reasons I am continuing with the change in my own life. And I wish she was here. But had I taken her to the GP 2-3 years ago, when she first told me about it, and forced her, because I did take her to the doctors, and at the time they actually didn't diagnose her with it. They didn't realize. So look out for our elders, for our family members. Do, if there's a language barrier, please take them to get those translations done and get them seen, because we could prevent so many unnecessary deaths from this
Yes.
disease if
Indeed.
we got it
Yeah.
checked sooner. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, Verena. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you to the person who shared that as well. So you see, there is somebody else who just backed me up on my on my leaf called soursop leaves, and also guava as well. So that's another one. So you have guava. I remember, and I think one of the things that helped me is that when I went to Curacao about 2 years ago, my brother insisted that I drank like what we call bush tea. It was merengue, soursop, and other type of teas and things like turmeric and all of that. So if you want to know more, there's just so much I can tell you. So just message me and we can have a conversation. Come to my workshop and you can learn more about what I have done and what you can carry on to do. So as I said, I want to say thank you, to you for being here with us and continuing to support us. I do appreciate you because with you, all things are possible. There's nothing that's impossible if I don't give a try, and then you are there to support me. So I want to give you thanks and I want to give you praise for being here. I will be back on later with Joel, who is going to be talking to us a little bit further. And Joel is a fitness, he's into fitness and he's into health and wellness as well. So we're going to come on later with you to tell you a bit more. So see you later. Take care and have a good afternoon. God bless. Love you. Bye.